Hello, my dear email subscribers, and welcome to the second lesson about verbs of motion. Last time we talked about how to learn verbs of motion deeply and for a long period of time, and how to start using them actively, automatically, without hesitation. And the first step was to understand grammar rule, not to learn it, just trying to understand it. Number two was using your imagination and trying to make a weird association with this or that verb. And number three, and the most important step, was to make a short and ridiculous story about it. And that is what we're going to talk about today. I will give you the example of this story and, of course, a lesson to practice for the next week. You'll be able to download it below this video. But before you do that, let me explain how it all works.
So here we go. We're having this PDF, Bear and Vodka mini story, and right from the very beginning, choose ridiculous characters, absurd characters. Don't choose just I or Masha or Jack. Something that will stick to your Russian bear, stereotypical Russian bear. So look at this mini story. We're working with the verb ходить here. So you see, ходить, заходить, подходить, приходить, уходить. All those prefixes that seem pretty confusing at the very beginning. And we put all those verbs together in one story. Look here. Русский медведь ходит в магазин каждый день. You can look at the translation too. Сегодня он идет быстро. Медведь заходит в магазин в 3 часа. Он подходит к продавцу и говорит: «Дай водку». Продавец отвечает: «Водки нет, приходи завтра». И грустный медведь уходит без водки. You see, absolutely absurd. Bear wants to buy vodka and no vodka, so he's sad and he goes away. Ridiculous, but you will remember this one because it's so absurd. So, why is this so effective? Here, you not only practice verbs, but pay attention. You practice all the endings of the adjectives русский медведь. So you will remember that it's и, not ая or ое. Then you practice cases, of course. Ходит в магазин. Во что? Куда? В магазин. So you see, no ending here. В магазин. Then, каждый день. And you'll remember that if you say every day or every month or every once in a while, so some period of time, we use ходит, this form, ходит. We don't say идет. And in the very next sentence, you see сегодня. So it's exactly today. So here we use идет. And you don't need to understand why is it like that. What's going on here? You don't need to concentrate. You don't need to dwell on that. You need to practice it. And by these simple stories, you'll be able to do that. Next time when you start saying сегодня he or she is doing something, you will not use the wrong verb already because it will stick into your memory. Then заходит в 3 часа. You practice time. Again, cases. К продавцу. К кому? К чему? It's dative. Продавцу. You see that ending here. Then again, Another case. Дай водку. Accusative. So, водки нет. It's genitives. You see, all the cases. And then comes the most important part. It's not enough to just create this story. The most important part is this story with questions. I mean, like this. Let's look at the first sentence. Русский медведь ходит в магазин каждый день. I want you to repeat this phrase as many times as possible until you wake up at night and you remember that каждый день ходит. You can say идет каждый день. And you should use simple questions, just like this. Медведь ходит в магазин. Да, медведь ходит в магазин. Он ходит в школу? And you answer out loud. Нет, он ходит не в школу. Он ходит в магазин. And I know it seems boring and it seems absurd repeating the same stuff again and again and again. What's going on here? But no, it is a proven fact that this method works several hundreds% better than old traditional methods with exercises like fill in the correct form of the verb and so on. It never works. Trust me, I've been doing this for like 8 years, more than 8 years already. So, when you repeat the same phrase, the same form all the time with all those questions, next time when you use different verb, different object, completely different sentence, you will already know which form to use, which case to use, what ending to put there, because you will do that automatically. So, if you have any Russian language teacher, or maybe you have Russian speaking friend, ask them to make these kinds of stories for you. Choose some verb, add different prefixes, and ask someone to make those questions for you. It will be perfect if they will be able to record it, so you can pause the audio and answer. After that, after you practice the story with questions, you practice tenses, because in Russian all those verbs, it's not just that they have different prefixes and different endings, they of course can be put in different times, different tenses. So we put the same story in present, past and future. So present tense ходит, заходит, подходит, past tense ходил, зашел, подошел, and so on. Future будет ходить, пойдет. And you see, it's not enough to just understand grammar and to do a couple of exercises. You should speak this out loud as many times as you can. Read first, listen, then you actively take part in it. Without any listening and reading, you speak. You try to retell those stories. You try to maybe use synonyms if you don't remember how it was in the original stories. But you should act in learning Russian. Without that, it's very, very slow. So today we begin with this bear and vodka mini story.
So that was it. Now I want you to look below this video and download that lesson about the bear with mini story, with questions, and with the story in different tenses. And start practicing it right now. Every day, speaking out loud when you're alone or, when you're comfortable to do that. And let me know how it works. I really need your feedback. So, see you in the next lesson. Bye bye.